what's the fucking? I'm missing it.
Melanotan?
I tried it. I got sick during prep.
Yeah, you get sick. That's the thing. You get sick, but
I was bedridden for 3 days in the middle of prep, and I lied to you because I was embarrassed for taking it. So I said I was just really sick, and I told Matt, I was like, I can't go to the gym, but really I was bedridden because of that. And I did the world's smallest dose. Yeah.
People are supposed to take it at like night.
Yeah.
Before you go to bed. But did it just carry over the next day?
No, the minute my friend gave it to me, my friend Isabel, who's a nurse, she came and gave it to me, and we did a really small microdose. Yeah. And my whole neck up.
Hives.
Bright red, hives all over my body. I was like bedridden, could not move, sick off of the world's smallest amount of it.
Jesus.
So I would just be careful.
Yeah, I just got some. I wanted to try it. I haven't tried it yet.
I know a lot of people.
I don't know if I'm going to do it. But,
Kevin takes it.
Marie wanted to try it too.
Kevin looks
just
like he
really,
takes it.
just really
I was going to give like the smallest dose to myself, and I'd probably give her like half of the.
You're going to be dark as hell. You know who's dark, bro? Is Mike. Bro.
Dude,
he's black. I'm not. I said, bro, if you get any darker, bro, we're shipping you ass to Africa.
I was like, why do we need melanotan, Mike? You're fucking dark as
Is he taking that?
I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm
pretty sure he did.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
So he's just lying about it being his skin tone.
I don't really care. People want to take that. Go ahead.
He doesn't look orangey though. He has a nice like browner shade because sometimes you can get orange with that.
He looks dark. He's like
some people can get purple.
Like
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That should be a whole topic on this podcast.
So apparently, like if you take it, I mean, yeah, you can go out and you basically soak up the sun.
Yeah.
But then also it kind of like prevents you getting sunburn. It's almost like a natural UV protectant.
Yeah, I think you have to at least sit in the sun for like 5 minutes with that stuff, right? And then it just like
and then it just absorbs.
It's unbelievable.
I didn't even make it out into the sun.
Yeah, well,
I was
you
stuck
did.
in bed.
Yeah, you were done after that. But we are back, guys.
Episode 10, 2025. We got a little coach's corner going on with some interesting topics today.
Yep, with Coach Raven.
Oh yeah, with Coach Raven.
She's back. But yeah, guys. Hey, real quick, everyone needs to stop, like, subscribe. I think we're at 397 subscribers.
Something like that, dude.
500?
We need 500 for the first tier of monetization. Please, come on, help us out. Yo, we are almost there. Appreciate the views. We are getting so many views. Greatly appreciative of that. However, there is about 60% of y'all viewers who are not subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button.
Yep, but today we have some awesome topics, guys. And the first one, we're going to hit it off. The IFBB came out with a certification. Me and Raven have complete opposite views. I think me and Dustin are on this. So that's why we got her on today, guys, and amongst other reasons.
I don't know. I'm kind of mid.
We're
but I mean, at the same time, I'm more towards I don't want to do it. But.
We're going to talk about it. So long story short, they came out with, it's not mandatory, right? Which is a great thing. I'm very happy about that. It's about $500. Technically, it's $1,000, but they're giving you 50% off, so it's $500. You did buy the course, so give us your thoughts, your rundown, since you've already did it.
Yeah, so basically, to explain a little bit more about my thoughts, is the NPC and IFBB launched this course to kind of help coaches navigate being a physique coach. So it's not your typical like personal training certification. You don't need to upkeep it. Once you do it, you have it. You don't have to keep doing like educational courses to keep it up to date. It's just through your lifetime. They just want you to take it one time. And I'm all for it because, one, I really liked continuing education, maybe because I was a teacher, so I'm into those things. I get a little nerdy about it. But, like, I think it's a great thing, specifically, like, really great for people who want to go from a regular trainer into a bodybuilding coach. Because I think nowadays we have too many people who are just, like, personal trainers at your box gym that are like, I'm going to start coaching bodybuilders, or we have people that do one NPC show and then decide they then know because they've gone through one show that they can coach athletes. And there was nothing out there to help them actually learn the protocols, actually learn and be educated on this specific field. Because if you just get your certification in bodybuilding, it doesn't go into, or your certification in personal training, it doesn't really go into bodybuilding. So this is a lot more like narrowed into bodybuilding for those people. So I think it's going to allow coaches to be more knowledgeable, and it's going to allow the sport to be a little bit safer because I'm sure there's a lot of things going on right now, especially with a girl that just passed away and people in the past. And I think they're, one, doing this to kind of cover themselves. But I think it's a great thing, and I want to take it even as a coach that has put several people on stage, and I put my, like, I've been on stage several times. I still think to this day that I don't know everything, and I'm okay with not knowing everything. But, like, it's the fact of doing the course and being willing to learn more and acknowledging that you don't always know everything. But what's cool about it is they had 30 to 40 people come together to create this. So it wasn't just like the NASM people. Like if you go and look, the first thing they show you is all the people. And there's several IFBB pros, men and women, even pros with their doctorates that help create this. So I'm kind of intrigued to kind of see what their protocols are as pros in this, because I know we all coach a little bit different. So I like it.
Dustin, give us your thoughts.
I'm a huge proponent of continuing to learn as much as you can until the day that you pass away. I think that if you don't continue to have that understanding of and willingness to learn, that you're pretty much dead at that point. So I mean, it started way back in the day, but however, it always continued to be reinforced. But in the Marine Corps, we always say, be a perpetual white belt. That means somebody who was always willing to learn, right?
Teachable.
So that's something that I'm definitely for. I definitely understand that it is great for the community as well as the coaching community. Do agree with you, and that was something that I was going to bring up. Is I think that it is going to allow people to have more of a safety standard in understanding what should be delivered to people, but. With that being said, you can be the best coach in the world and you can provide an A1 plan. However, it is up to the athlete in order to execute that plan as such. So, you don't necessarily know what your athlete is doing unless they dispose that information to you. So, I mean, although, yes, we can be as safe as we can't necessarily prevent dumb things to happen, right? But I do believe that is a great way and a standard for people to kind of see what is going to be a better way going forward as a coach, and especially into the bodybuilding community in terms of a prep. Now, is it something that I necessarily want to do right now? I don't really want to put $500 out there right now, but that's just me. I will eventually. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think that if they made it mandatory, I would fucking, all right, cool, here we go.
If they made it mandatory.
That's what I got to do. I got to do it. But, at this point, it's just not something that I'm willing to spend some money on. But
I mean, I agree with you. And I agree that we can give, athletes a plan and it's up to them to follow it. But how many times have we had clients come to us and we saw their coach's protocol and we were like, what the hell is this coach doing?
Absolutely.
This coach has zero idea. So
Exactly.
I think this is putting more pressure on the coaches to be
100%.
better than necessarily the athletes executing.
Correct. But that's what I'm stating. It's putting a clear standard together to make an awareness that this is what it has to be. 100% agree with you. We always see freaking coaches' plans and we're like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, number one, your protocol in terms of gear is absolutely ridiculous.
Insane.
Number two, you're starving your athlete.
Number three, you're putting them on 2.5 hours of cardio a day, which is insane. And guys, I think the most cardio I've ever done with an athlete was Raven, and literally Raven. It was Raven because she's fucking about playing. Let's be honest, right?
No, that's when.
So
that's not what happened.
Yes, it was. I know it. You can lie with all you
No,
want.
it
but
was
I know.
when I was wellness and they wanted me bikini.
No, but we did like 2 hours of cardio. But that was, I'm saying then, that's the most we've done, guys.
Yeah.
That's the most. And we hear 2 hours of cardio is like a normal for most people. Maybe 3 hours. I've seen up to. Listen, I had this one client. I forgot who it was. I don't want to call anyone out. Actually, I know exactly who it was. It was Jamie. I'll be honest, right? Jamie, dude. Her coach had her on 3 hours of cardio a day before her first meal. 3 hours
before her
3 hours
meal?
of cardio.
How
That
you
was her
supposed to do
faster
that?
cardio. You're
When you
not.
have 3 hours in the morning.
That's what I'm saying.
Three
Like,
fucking
holy
hours.
shit. What are you waking up at 3 in the morning to do your
Well, people are retarded, man. And I think, we got to look back at like the past few years, right? Why did they implement this thing? For one, people are abusing diuretics. That's the main reason why most of these competitors die if you're not a man's open guy, because they need to do an insulin and tests and all this crazy shit. 1,000 milligrams per train, you're going to die eventually, right? Let's be honest. A lot of these people are just abusing it. But the problem is we're getting these 21-year-olds that are dying from using, diuretics at the Arnold. Like, that is unacceptable. Like, it's tough because I don't think it was a coach's fault on this one. I don't know if it was. He's getting a lot of backlash from it. But regardless of the fact, they had to do something. And I don't think this is to cover their ass. I think it's because they genuinely care about the athletes.
Yeah.
And they gotta know, like, guys, you can't be giving diuretics 14 weeks out from the fucking show or 14 days out from the show. These are so toxic and so strong that if you give 25 milligrams of diazide for a week, you're probably going to end up dying. Like, if you start dropping water, you'll be really messed up. You just can't do that, right? So it's tough. Now, I don't like certifications. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I don't fucking believe in it because of the box office gyms, right?
Yeah.
They make it mandatory for you to do it. I've come on this. I've talked a lot about this topic. Exactly. I just don't believe in school, really. I do, but I don't, right? I would personally rather, man, like, all the top gurus in the world coming together. And that's why I'm curious to see who's actually put knowledge in this. Because let's just say, if you went up to a doctor, hey, do you think trend's fine?
Me?
Yes. If you were a doctor, would you say trend's okay to take ever?
Oh, if I was a doctor, probably
Yes.
not.
Absolutely fucking not, right? But people are going to abuse it anyway. So
Yeah.
how the hell are they going to put something on paper
Yeah.
that's like really to teach you bodybuilding? Like I know John Jewett does a lot of big big templates of like, guys, this is your PD protocol. That's a guy I trust. That's a guy I highly recommend you investing money. So if I'm going to pay $500, I'm buying his shit. I'm not buying this stuff. That's my personal
I
opinion.
mean, I already bought that one. That's a good one.
And it's a really good one. He's smart. He's like, that's like continuing education, right? I just think that they have to do something. And if it was mandatory, like we couldn't buy a backstage pass, girl, we're all getting it. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it. But I think for coaches to just go and or for clients to go to the NPC website and look who filled out this thing, no one's going to care about that. Because give it a week, there's going to be 1,000 names on that thing. Give it a week.
But would you rather be 1 in 1,000 or the million on Instagram fishing for clients?
I think that if you're a good coach, your resume speaks for itself. And no one has ever asked me my entire life if I have a certification.
I mean, yeah.
They've never. Has anyone ever asked you?
No, I have several certifications, but
Exactly.
I mean.
Why would they hire you? Why would they hire you?
Well, they've seen my clients and
Exactly.
they've seen my stuff. But I mean, I think it just gives you a slight edge. But I just like it for the fact that it's really geared towards bodybuilding and it's the first thing kind of out there like this.
It is.
I've taken a bodybuilding course before through a different federation and it was clearly not written by like IFBB pros, bodybuilders, doctors, stuff like that. It skimmed on certain topics that I wish they dived more into, that this course is going to dive more into. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm
curious,
still a new coach. I haven't, you've been coaching like triple the amount of time. So like for me, I feel like this is still beneficial for someone in my, like where I am in my career.
100%. As long as best world. If I opened it up, I would want to see what is the max dose of each compound that I should do per division, right? Like if you're a bikini girl, you should not take Primo. Let's be honest, right? You should not take all this stuff here from here. If you're a wellness girl, this is what you should take, right? Diuretic wise, these are the safe diuretics. This is the dosaging. That's what I would want to see. But how do you put that on paper? Because once you put it on paper and you say, hey, it's okay to do this, and you die, they're going to sue them. So how do they? It has to be.
I don't believe that NASM is going to have a protocol. I guarantee you, 100%, that is not within the program.
Yeah,
so then what are we going to learn then from? That's why I'm curious for you to go
that's
through.
not on the program. It goes over like meal plans and like stuff like that, but it also tells you the very first page that it says like bodybuilding coaches are not allowed to prescribe meal plans, but yet they're going to teach you about meal plans.
Exactly.
And then it did, have a huge safety warning that like we, as a coach, you should never prescribe drugs, like send them to a doctor, make sure they're getting it, like work with their doctor to make sure they're getting the right amount and stuff. And like, which I mean, I do see that. Like, that's the safest way to do it is to have a good doctor that you can partner with, send your clients to. Having like that resource, I think is also really beneficial.
Absolutely.
I actually had this guy I called, long story. He was talking shit about me and the team, which is fine. Texted him on Instagram, not to say who it was. I think I texted him, right? I was like, hey, man, I heard you talking shit. Like, let's just get on a phone call and talk, right? Hopped on a phone call. It went really good. I don't think we talked about this. It went pretty good. He was trying to like, oh, yeah, what? If I was talking shit, it was when I was talking to this person, and this is probably all I said. But then there was this other time where I was talking shit. So what? I said, bro, let's just don't even worry about it. But long story short, we started getting on like other topics with, he was prescribing, women testosterone, right? He was prescribing different things. And I said, look, man, like I'm gonna just a little rule of thumb. Been doing this for a long time with the women. If it's anything hormonally, right? If you're gonna put them on TRT, whatever, progesterone, whatever, you're not qualified to do it. I don't care. Even if you are qualified, I've talked to Drew. Drew is so much smaller than all of us. He still doesn't do that shit. When it comes to thyroid and testosterone and all that, have him go to a clinic, get that shit done. That is your baseline before I even take you, right? That's your baseline. With men, it's a little bit different. I'm a little more knowledgeable. It's a little easier, right? It's a lot easier, actually. With women, they're tough. They get menopause and they're getting older and all this stuff. So you got to be careful with that. So little rule, for me, and I think the coach on the team is we don't really do that shit. That has to, you have to go to the doctor. Your thyroid, your test, come to me when that's perfect, and then let me, coach you after that. So I actually had a good talk with him. He said that he thanked me and he appreciated it because it was, it was a big, he never even thought he couldn't do that. He was like, if I do that, maybe I'm a bad coach. Does that make sense? Because a lot of coaches probably think like, hey, if I don't talk to you about this and I don't do this, if I see your testosterone levels at a 3, why would I not put you on tests? But you don't understand that maybe that's not the problem. Maybe they're doing too much cardio. Maybe they're overstressed. Maybe they're who knows what the hell they're
There's
doing, right?
other
It could be a
things
million
to do
fucking things that
first.
could happen.
There's a whole shit
Exactly.
ton of factors when it comes to women. But you said there was about 40 people that came together for this actual certification. Who are a couple of the most notable that you found?
There's a few, I believe he's a physique pro. I don't know his name off the top of my head. And then there's also a wellness pro. I believe her name is like Sunny something. I think
Sunny
Suits You
Andrews?
sponsors her
Yeah,
because she
Sunny
has
Andrews.
a doctorate.
There you go. Yeah.
And
She's
she's
a
on it
doctor.
as
Yep, yep,
well.
yep.
There's a ton. I think there's even a couple figure girls. I'll have to send you their names
That's
after
cool.
this. But there are several pros from several of the different divisions that are on this. And literally when you open it up, the first thing you see is Ashley Colt Washer. And I'm like,
Of
I'm
course.
sure.
all right, let's
Face
go.
of the business.
Yeah.
So
Face of the business. There
So
it is.
yeah, they filmed like real bodybuilders too, which I thought was cool. It wasn't just like, you know, your average Joe.
Now, are they talking in this thing?
Yeah,
There's like clips
it's
of
a
them
lot
speaking
of
and stuff.
So they do multiple learning because I'm sure you know that everybody learns differently.
Yep.
So some
Me,
people
I can't read, so I'm
Yeah.
an audio
Or
person.
spell.
Yeah.
I can't spell either, guys. I'm illiterate.
So they do a videos for every lesson, and then they do like a little chapter read, and then they have a recap, and then you do a mini quiz. And then after you finish all the chapters, there's only like 7 chapters.
How many are you through now?
I've only done the first chapter.
What? Give me one thing you learned from the first
Yeah,
chapter.
let me hear it.
That I shouldn't be prescribing drugs or
meal
prescribing
plans.
meal
Gotcha, okay,
plans.
got you. Okay.
And so you're already breaking the rules. What
You're breaking
fuck,
the rules,
dude?
Raven.
Hey, my meal
but
plans are suggestion based, you know?
Suggestion.
That's true. No, but I mean,
That's
so
how
what
you
did
cover
learn?
yourself.
Okay.
You know, what did you learn off the first chapter? What did you learn? Give us
from
one
that.
piece that you were like, you know what, I kind of
That
took this
sticks with
knowledge.
me.
No, I actually do. Like, that's kind of like what is covered in the first one. And then also, the first one is really the basics, like fundamentals about like lipids and carbohydrates and like that type of stuff, which to me, I found those like kind of beneficial because I like having like a recap of those and then your different types of fats and stuff like that. It was interesting to relearn that now, like putting that next to my meal plan and stuff and kind of seeing the benefits of what carb sources I'm using and what not I'm using. But no, I mean, I like it so far. I mean, I just like those things. Like, I don't.
You know, and you know, something that Drew told me a while back, he's really big into like progressing his knowledge,
Yeah.
right? And they say if you spend $500 on this course and you take one thing that you're going to use with your athletes for the rest of your life, it's worth that $500.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, if I get one client from taking it and they stay with me at least a month or two, I just made my money back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know. I think it's beneficial, but I know that everyone's not going to need it. But I am interested to see if they ever make it mandatory for like backstage passes and stuff like that.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
I will freak out. I will not be okay with that, guys. I'm just letting you guys know. I do not want that whatsoever. Nope, because again, like I don't believe in certifications, guys. Okay, I really truly don't, because no one's ever asked me. Like, you don't need it, right?
Yeah.
In our line of work, like I feel like I'm so much above the certifications that they do. Like I said, John Jewett, different story. That motherfucker breaks shit down. Like he's talking about like whole protocols and like what you should do, and it's wizardry, literally wizardry. He's like Drew, except on paper. So that's kind of where it was at. But yeah, so we'll switch the tone a little bit. You know, I know there's a lot to talk about. So we had an amazing team workout this weekend. Guys, we are freaking growing, man. Like,
That's good.
I remember doing this before, man, and there was only like 10 people would show up. Like, now we had like 40, 50 people.
We had a dude that drove 6 hours, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Matt, man. Shout out to Matt.
Shout
That's
out
a big
to Matt,
boy.
brother.
Yep, it's a big boy.
is.
But we had some, you know, things that happened, you know, that I do want to kind of talk about, you guys' thoughts on. You know, we had 2 competitors see themselves in the posing room, and I was hard on them, right? And I am hard as fuck on people, man. Like, I'm extra hard on you if you're good, right? Extra hard. And I say that in the nice way possible. Like, if I know you got it and I know I'm going to push you to your fucking potential, I'm going to be hardest on you, right? And especially if you're close to the show. So we had a few athletes that are really close to the show, some not, but they got really discouraged after they left, you know, the studio. They saw themselves, they thought they're fat. I can't fucking pose. So what's your advice to people, man, when they're close to the show, to stay out of their head?
Number one, get the fuck off the Instagram. I'm talking to you, Jay, and
Yeah.
you weren't even close.
We saw that this morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's just really getting out of your head. It's very hard when you're in that state, especially in such a deficit. Your mind is a little foggy, right? Your fatigue's hit. You know, you're only thinking about your next meal, and then on top of that, like we were talking about in the gym, dude, you take your shirt off, you can be literally the tightest that you've ever been in your freaking life, right? And then you're just like, dude, you just get so down on
look like
yourself,
shit.
right? This is garbage. But I mean, when it comes to the posing, right, you can be the #1 professional in the world and you still have to work on your posing. That is something that is always going to be critiqued. That's something that you can always improve on, just like you can continue to improve on your physique. You can have the best physique in the world, and if you can't present it, it's just never going to translate on stage. So yes, we are hard on our athletes because we understand and we can see your potential, and we want that potential to come out, and we want you to understand yourself that practice, and you're never going to be perfect, but you're going to be closer to perfect than you were before. So yes, although we want to be as hard as, or although that we are as hard as we are on our athletes, we do see the potential in you, and you guys are looking amazing. Please don't get down on yourselves. But again, the fatigue, the fog, all that type of shit is going to play an effect on.
Yeah, and guys, listen up. Practice does not make perfect. It makes progression.
Exactly.
Okay, it makes progression. What do you got?
No, I agree with everything Dustin said. Like, when you're in your head, it's usually because you're on social media a lot, or you probably weren't following your plan, so you're not where you should be. Right. So it's usually one of those two things. But then when it comes to posing, that is something that could be avoided if you start as soon as you start prep, or even before you start prep. Before you start cutting, you should be working on posing. It is not something you should wait a couple weeks out to a show to start doing, because then you are going to set yourself up for failure. Like, there's some girls that I work with every single week for multiple months, just for them to look really good on the show day. But it was like a miracle they looked that good on show day, because it was still a little iffy going into the show.
Exactly. Correct.
But that is something that could have been prevented by making sure you have time to see your coach. And if you can't see your coach, hiring another posing coach, or going to free seminars. There's multiple free seminars around where you can go and work with other people. Like, in our situation, the girl that I was working with is pretty decent on her own, but she had never been in a lineup next to other girls. So when all the other girls started turning different directions and doing stuff, she deer in headlights. Right, yeah. Even though she knows how to pose, she knows how to do her routine and just break it in half, it was like shock, like could not move, deer in headlights, shock. So you can't just practice posing by yourself in the mirror. Like, if you are a part of a team, you need to come out to the team events. Exactly. You need to ask, like, hey, can I pose with some girls? Can we practice some comparisons? Because at the end of the day, your comparisons is almost more important than your routine, because that's where they're really looking at you next to the other girls. Your individuals, sometimes you don't even get to do in the morning. And sometimes it's just a first look. Like, you have to be able to nail comparisons even more than you nail your routine sometimes.
100%. Exactly, man. And I think, again, you guys hit it right on the head. Social media kills you, and it's also about who the fuck are you comparing yourself to in the beginning, right? If you're an amateur athlete, why are we looking at Olympians, comparing ourselves, saying you look like fucking shit? Yeah. Guys, take 2 seconds, go on NPC News Online, look up the show for the last year, look at 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. They're probably all fat. I'm sorry, guys. They're probably out of shape. And I say fat in the nice way for like bodybuilding prep. They look amazing for lifestyle, but not show ready conditioning, right? Stop comparing yourself to people that you're not going to be fucking versing for the next 10 goddamn years, right? Again, one of my top athletes, I think she's going to go all the way. I think she could, right? She was the most hard on herself. And it was a big wake-up call. It was a humbling time for her, right? Because we all got in a verbal argument this morning too. And I say, oh, it is, whatever. Because I was like, dude, you gotta stop. She's like, oh, well, I hate that lighting. I'm never posting there again. I said, that's the lighting you need to fucking pose in, guys.
It's too hot.
Like, when I do the posing, like with what's his name, like it's there and like the lighting's come through. I said, oh, so you're talking about the perfect lighting when you hit the pose for 5 seconds and then you stop and then you talk and then you because we worked her, right? I worked her for a reason, to see what her body was going to do, see how much she would shake. She was sweating profusely, nervous, sweating, wasn't able to contract. It was a great wake-up call, and I think she needed it, and I think we're going to see a different person now. But again, she is so in her head, and not even that. We have another girl on the team that's doing the April show, so in her head, because they're comparing themselves to fucking Olympians, man. I'm sorry, but you're not even pro yet. Why are we comparing yourself? I would never compare myself to Dustin. He'd slaughter me. He's a fucking pro. I'm a shit amateur, right? Okay? He's a fucking pro, but I'm just to be honest with you. When I'm doing shows, I'm not comparing myself to pros yet. I'm comparing myself to who won last year at this show. And that's it. Just beat that person. There's levels to the fucking game.
Yeah, absolutely.
People need to understand.
I tried to get out of Jay's head. Well, Jay he was a little down on himself today, and he was just like, he was like, man, you know, I hate stepping on the scale, and I know I shouldn't step on the scale. I'm just shoveling all this food in, and the weight's still going up. I'm like, how far out are you? He's like, 22 weeks. I'm like, brother, you are so far out. He's like, yeah, but it's gonna go so fast. I was like, listen, let me just put this in perspective. I'm 15 weeks out, you know, and my scale's slightly going up here and there, and I promise you, I'm gonna be peeled as fuck at the stage. But you're gonna see me peel down. He's like, yeah, but you're already tapered. I was like, I'm a fucking pro. Jay,
Exactly. Yeah.
I've got 13 competitions under my belt. How many you got?
Exactly.
You got none. So, I mean, you're comparing yourself to somebody who isn't even in your league. You're not in my league yet, brother. I mean, no offense or no disrespect, but I mean, I have to put things into perspective for him. And so, and then the other thing, I was like, dude, get off of social media. And he was like, okay, dude, I'm training a dude. I look over to the freaking the computer, and he's got fucking social media. I'm like, no.
I know. He's sitting there looking at, like, he was like, oh, I'm looking at last year's winners of the category, and like, I told him to do it. I was like, bro, go look at last year's winner, bro. Trust me, you got this shit. Just stay out of your fucking head. Yeah. You know, but how do we, what advice do we have to give these athletes, man, that are there and they're really down on themselves? Because it's hard. Because it's almost like when I coach kids, a lot of kids, right? And you play that good cop, bad cop, like when to push them and then when to give them praise. Well, when the good athlete's close to the show, it needs to be 100% push, and they need to handle that shit. So what do you got for that?
So I think the biggest thing in bodybuilding and what discourages a lot of people is they are looking at pros when bodybuilding should really be a you versus you mindset. And a lot of people are like, no, I need to win. I need to get first place. Then I need to go get my pro card. But honestly, none of that matters in the long run. What matters is what you did. Did you show up? Did you do everything you needed to? Did you bring the best that you could every single day, even on the hard days? Did you at least execute everything? Because if so, if you did that and maybe you didn't win, you should still be so happy, because I guarantee those results from when you first started are so different than where you are at now. But people get so disappointed if they don't win or if they don't get a pro card. But like, did you see yourself 20 weeks ago?
Yep.
You see how much you changed?
Did you see how much you changed? Your mindset's changed. You've grown. Like, you can't expect to turn pro in your first year. You maybe don't even expect to win your first show. Just a lot of the first timers, I think, are the most hard on themselves because they don't know necessarily what to expect. And they just work so hard and get so in their head to win. But your first show should just be about enjoying the process.
Exactly.
Like, they're so fixated on the placing and not the journey to get there.
Yeah, it's also hard though, man, because we just breed winners. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We spew winning energy. So we're like, no, we're gonna win. So it's kind of our fault at the same time, because we have been so dominant, in my opinion, guys. Because guys, even if we bring a person out there, we're probably getting second. Like, we're probably getting second or third. And most of these girls, if they weren't coached by us, I'm humbly saying, you know, they'll get 7th, 8th, 9th, right? Because we know how to unlock their mind. We take out all the little bullshit that people teach them over time. We just simplify it and just, we know how to win shows. But I think that the problem with that is that when you have new athletes, they're like, oh, if I lose, if I don't win, I'm a failure. Because Natalia did this her first show. You know, Dustin did this and went pro his first, you know, with Matt, whatever. I'm saying, you're way more veteran, but I'm just saying, like, Alice, she did this, and everyone compares herself to fucking Alice. People got to stop doing that shit. But, you know, she won this and went and got a pro card. If I'm not like that, then I suck. It's not that you suck. It's just sometimes you need a little more time than others, man. Like, you need time. Dude, Raven's not even fucking pro. She just got her first overall ever fucking last year. And how like, look at how long and how much that took. All that fucking hard work, building your physique, have them just the muscle alone. Yeah. And it pisses me off, like, that these first competitors come out and they're like, oh, well, you know, why I should win. If I don't win, I suck, like, whatever. You've been fat your whole life, okay? What do you really have? Like, you don't deserve to win, to be honest with you. You've been fat your whole damn life. Like, you could bust your ass for 20 weeks, but it still doesn't mean that you can forget the 20 years of abuse you did to your fucking body. But you need to look at the positives. Look at how far you've come, right? And I have somebody hitting the show this April, which I'm so proud of her, man. Wow, she's amazing. Like, she's going to kill it. Not to say who it is, but I went back and looked. She had me. She's like, "Can you send me the old pictures you took me at the beginning?" I did, and she was like, mind blown. Yeah. And that's gonna be one of the best transformations I've ever made. And just wait for it. But man, it's tough, man. It's hard, you know.
Like you said, we breed winners. We harbor an environment of a winning mindset. And so when these first timers don't win, yeah, they get down on themselves because they feel like they let us down.
Exactly.
But that's so far from the case.
100%.
You know, again, when we see you guys up on stage, it's like we're on stage, and we are so proud of you to see you on there. And when we're like yelling cues. Like that's not out of anger. That's out of love and passion and freaking understanding your potential. And I guess the biggest thing that I can give, the biggest piece of advice that I can give for these people that are so far in their heads is that you have to focus on the day at hand. This day is the only day that matters. Don't worry about your show day, because that show day is going to come here eventually. As long as you are focused on the day at hand and what tasks need to be completed during that day, and then the next day comes and then you worry about that day, and then so on and so forth, you're eventually going to get to that show day with a million stacked wins upon every freaking task that you are supposed to do, that you are going to be so much further along instead of just thinking about the show day when you are 22 weeks out. You have to focus on the day at hand, and once you can do that and get out of your head about looking so far into the future, you are going to be, you're going to get there. It's eventually going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, it's a hard mental battle. You know, just like you said, you have to brick by brick build the fucking wall, come back better. Man. It's just, you know, one of my biggest pet peeves, man, is like if you seriously abuse your body for 20 years and you do 3 months of work, but you don't even do it right, you half-ass it, and then you get mad at you get mad for a second that you get second, third, or fourth, you're fucking crazy. And it's sad to see, man. And I've had it before where clients, again, abuse their body the whole life. I come in, make a huge transformation, don't win, and they just completely feel like they're defeated. Yep. Like, bro, like,
how far you've come.
Unbelievable. Like most people don't even win their first show, let alone come to make the transformation you did. So, you know, a little food for thought for people. Stay off social media, stay away from everything. You know, it just stop. Don't let your mind kill your progress. Don't, because that will kill it, man. And like what Dustin said, like what we do is most of the time we stay covered up. Me and Dustin always stay covered up. It works for us. A little shout out, like just a little tip for you guys, right? If you're in your head a lot, leave a fucking hoodie on. Because the problem with me when I was prepping, I would take off my shirt. Exactly what Dustin said. I'd be shredded. I'm ready for fucking battle, right? Yeah. I look in the mirror. I'm fat. I suck. I'm like shit right now. And I would put my shirt back on, and then I would get a fucking ass workout the next 2 weeks because of the one time I took off my shirt. And so I realized I just put the work on, do the work in the gym, kill it. Let your coach look at your body, guys. Stop overthinking shit. Your coach, you hired a coach for a reason. Let them make them changes like I let Dustin make. Like you let me make. Let me make the fucking changes. You just do the work. Be a fucking machine. Like that's why you hire a coach, to be a damn machine. Execute the fucking plan, dude. And we're gonna fucking win, guys. That's
so
it.
Funny. I'm the opposite. I like to see it in the gym. That gets me more motivated.
It works.
I'm
for
like,
some people,
look at this 6-pack. Let me go ahead and make that an 8-pack.
No, literally. See, but that's good because you know what? You're using it. For like you're taking the criticism for yourself and you're turning it into fuel. You're like, wow, okay, I look like shit, but wow, I want to get that fucking 8-pack, so I'm pushing even harder. And that's the problem with a lot of these competitors, man, is they see themselves and they do the complete opposite. They shut down. Oh, I feel like I'm never gonna win, and they do this like little. And you're doing the complete opposite. You're using that shit as fuel. Like this person, again, at the whatever last thing. They were in the mirror, and I'm like, she's like, I'm never gonna stand in front of that mirror again, whatever. I'm like, why don't you make it a thing instead of being a little baby, right? Little baby back bitch. Why don't you say, you know what? Next time I stand in that fucking mirror, I'm gonna be so fucking in shape. I'm gonna make that person look like they've never even stepped foot in the gym, and that is the difference between athletes, right? Having that positive fuel. And trust me, I was on her ass a lot. She's good. We're ready for battle. We're gonna kill it. But anyway, man, let's switch up a little bit. So we had some stuff happen at the Arnold Classic. Multiple things actually, but we'll start with Ali. You know, getting roasted by.
Well, I don't know if he necessarily got roasted. So, you know, I mean, there's certain things that I can kind of agree with Arnold, right? So basically he was stating that, what was it? This is a complete physique competition, right? And as we are judging a complete, full, balanced physique, why aren't we judging the legs, right? And so maybe we should potentially move the shorts up, have smaller shorts, something like that, which, you know, again, I believe that the board shorts are there for men's physique, and this is the division that we have and we have evolved. Now, on the other hand of things, and something that I can see in terms of the judging of balanced physique is we have to enforce that with the judges. If the judges are awarding athletes who don't have any fucking legs or zero calves, like, I mean, I'm not going to mention any names out there, but there are definitely...
Mention one name.
I mean, to be honest, what's his name? City?
Who?
City Pouye, I think his name is. He's a UK freaking IFBB pro, and believe me, this guy looks fucking amazing, but he's got zero legs. There are no fucking calves up there, but they keep awarding this guy, and he's what, 2, 3-time, 4-time Olympian? Nothing against you, brother. I mean, I got much love for you. Maybe you just can't grow your legs. But if we are going to speak about a complete balanced physique, you don't have it. Let's just be real.
Period.
So there's just athletes like that, and he's not the only one.
Yeah.
But again, if they're going to continue to award people
Can't
like this,
award
what the fuck are we doing? So again, I believe that it has to then be put towards the judges to really start judging a balanced physique.
Exactly.
If we are going to move up the shorts and do a freaking, again, enforce the 2 inches above the knee, that needs to happen. They need to enforce the taper to the leg, that needs to happen. Yeah. And then when that happens and that is enforced, you have to judge a balanced physique. If this guy's got a good top half, good. Where's his bottom? Is his calves match his fucking biceps, or do they not?
Exactly.
There has to be a level of understanding when it comes to balance of the physique, and we have to judge it accordingly. If not, we're going to continue to fall into that. Oh, the men's physique is the fucking redheaded stepchild of the bodybuilding world, and they just whatever. And so one of the big reasons why I didn't want to fucking do men's physique from the get go is because I've always felt in my heart of hearts that they don't train their fucking legs, right? And this is still true to this day, even though that we move towards let's start to do a balanced physique, but we're not judging a balanced physique.
They say all that want, bro. Tyler Mannion came out and said, we want this, but guess what? You reward fucking homeboy, Aaron Banks. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry. That's what you reward. You can't reward small legs, bro. You have to, and he plays what, fucking first that year? Come on, bro. Get out of here. Raven, what's your opinion?
No, I agree 100% because I thought I heard Tyler say that they wanted to fill out the shorts a little bit more. I think it's evolved a little bit because I think back in the day, like when my dad used to compete, like years ago, you know, the swimsuits were a lot looser. They were a lot longer, like almost to the kneecaps. At least now they're a little bit more elevated, but I do think that they should be training their legs. Like when we went to Seattle to see you, like we were like, Dustin's going to slaughter it, right? But they kept placing guys with no legs, and I was like, I have bigger calves than some of these men. Like, it's a little, like, I don't understand why they're awarding that. And I don't think when Arnold was speaking, he was necessarily being rude. Right. He wasn't specifically talking about one individual. He was just like, it was just his broad thought about it. And I think it's a commonly shared thing. I think he's just, you know, getting the heat for it.
You know, if you look exactly what he said, he complimented all of these guys because he's like, dude, he's got amazing fucking legs. When Diogo's out there, dude, this guy has amazing legs. Like, why are we not showing this off? Why are we covering it up, right?
Yeah.
So how do we fix it, right? How do we fix it? For one, exactly what Dustin said, you got to start. You can't reward these guys, right? You have shit like you can't reward it, right? Yeah. Two, maybe we do need to see some Speedos. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, we got
Speedos, bro.
In the military, we got the Ranger panties. We can bring the shorts up and get the Ranger panties. You know what I'm saying?
Should we get some Ranger panties?
Silkies?
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think? Like, what would it help with that? You know?
I'm not sure if I agree with the Ranger panty. I don't know if I can stand to see one more man in underwear backstage. Like, I really can't.
You don't know what Ranger panties are?
No, and I don't think I need to know. I think I'm okay.
See, they're actual shorts.
Okay, well,
they're like the short shorts.
Like right
okay,
here,
okay.
They're like more of like a runner's short, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
they call them Ranger pants.
They need good legs though for it because now if they show up with little calves, I might throw up backstage if I have to look at that. But no, I do think that they should raise the shorts a little bit, and I think it should be a criteria that they do have to fill them out a little bit. I mean, I don't understand. Are we allowing guys to walk around with toothpick legs, and why are we giving them money for it?
That's exactly what they're allowing.
So I mean, I would just like to see the judges, if we are going to go that route, to really reward people who actually have a balanced physique and stop rewarding the people who have no legs.
Exactly.
To Ali's point, right? Ali, he won first place at the Arnold. He was in such joy of winning that prestigious event, right? And then for him, it was like the luster and that glory was kind of taken away from him because of how he felt Arnold was disrespecting the division. And so it's like he couldn't even enjoy the victory because of that, right? And then to his other point was, you know, he wasn't making that much money.
Yeah. You see him do the math on it. He did the math.
He only made like 14 something.
It was 11, I think, by the time it hits his bank account.
Something like 11.
That. By the time it's like, I'm pretty sure they sent him money on fucking PayPal, bro. Which PayPal is insane. Like they charge so much to get the money. So like by the time that they take the tax, capital gains 40%, whatever that is, right? That right there, let's say, what do you make 20 at the?
I don't know.
Let's just say he made 20, right? Now he's making about 12, and then I guess plus a 3% fee. By the time I even hit his bank account, he's stuck on like 11 grand. And he said, unbelievable. And when he goes to Europe, he actually makes more money at these smaller shows because they don't have all these taxes and all this crazy shit. So, you know, prize money aside, right? Everyone's always bitching saying that open bodybuilders get all this money. Good. They fucking deserve it, bro. Like they just, in my opinion, they deserve the fucking money. They're putting their life on the line. I'm sorry about that. Like I don't think that a men's physique guy and an open guy, the open guy is going to have more cost to his life. Okay. It's just the amount of drugs you have to push to get to that fucking size. That is the holy grail of bodybuilding. That is where it started. They're always going to make that money. Stop bitching about it. Right. But do I think that 20 grand is acceptable for the second best bodybuilding show in the world? It's truly embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Get your fucking shit together. It's getting ridiculous now. Like, why is this person getting 500 grand and the best men's physique person in the world is getting 20 grand at the second biggest show? If it's 20 grand, don't quote me on that.
I thought it was 10,000.
It might have been 10,000, guys.
I think it was 10,000 when I was watching the video.
Last year it was 40. Then I think this year it might have been like something like that, 10.
So what is that, man?
I think that's bullshit. And do I agree that men's bodybuilding or men's open has to take way more protocols in terms of their gear than somebody of men's physique? Yeah, absolutely. But another argument that I can add to that is that when it comes to men's physique is the most popular fucking in terms of the men's side is the most popular division in NPC. Yeah, I mean, it might not be in IFBB, and
it might be in IP though. And you know, there's a lot of pros,
but absolutely, and in other countries, like they don't really care too much about like the big guys. They really love the men's physique guys, and they almost treat it like a fucking World Cup soccer. Like, oh my god, like these people are looked at as royalty. But in the NPC. And, you know, as well as, you know, bikini side as well, you know, they're getting fucked over in terms of prize money. But I mean, it's not necessarily the IFBB who provides the prize money. It's the promoters and how they tend to allocate the money. But NPC, in terms of that, the men's physique and bikini is the most popular. It is the one that people are the gateway to bodybuilding, right? When you go to a NPC show, how many bodybuilders are there? Be honest.
Sometimes none.
One, two. Maybe 3, 4, 5 at most. But when you look at the men's physique, how many you got?
All of them.
Yeah, but I'm going to make the argument. Listen, I don't care how big men's physique gets, bro. It ain't never coming close to open, bro. It ain't never coming close.
I'm not saying
you
that
take out open, bro, it will not exist anymore.
Okay, why would we take out open, though? That's not a good argument.
Speaking, let's just say Olympia, you take out open bodybuilding. How many people are buying a $1,000 VIP ticket, bro, to see men's physique?
But then you have classic.
Would you do it? Doesn't matter. With keep classic in there, would you do it? Would you spend $1,000 on a VIP ticket if you're not going to see Big Ramey, fucking Hadi Chupin, Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman, all these monsters win? You know, would you pay that?
It really depends. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
I disagree. I don't think I would. That's the thing is I think that is the standard, right? So there's almost no comparison there between open and men's physique. But if we're looking at money, the reason why it's that good is because health is growing, right? Nobody wants to fucking die, dude. Like nobody wants to die at 67 years old from a heart attack, and they see these people abuse the drugs. I love men's physique. I think it's one of the healthiest divisions you compete in. Kind of same with classic. Classic getting kind of crazy, I think.
It's getting up there.
They're getting up there. They're getting dangerous, right? But I still think that's why, because people want to be healthy, right? But $20,000, $10,000 is embarrassing.
That's very embarrassing,
especially
when the NPC feeds into the IFBB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, not that the IFBB is the one paying the freaking prize money, because they're not. It's usually the promoters. But again, it needs to be allocated differently. Do you think? Okay, hypothetically speaking, if in fact they were like, all right, Open's getting 400K, we're going to take 100K away from them, and we're going to allot it to the rest of the people. Do you think that they would care?
I think that's totally fine.
Do you think that the open bodybuilders would give a fuck?
They probably would. I actually think that they should go up to $1 million, and I think that every single, like, bro, the best. Come on, guys, if we're paying fucking the NFL, you know,
our money
millions of dollars a year,
go up all around the divisions,
all around, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think, in my opinion, if it was me and I had to put a money line on it, right, it'd be $3 million for first place. Men's open, fuck them, they can afford it. $3 million first place. Classic physique, 500 grand without trying. Maybe $1 million. Let's say whatever, 500 grand to $1 million. Men's physique, 250 to 400, not even trying, right? That is minimum to me. Bro, if the NFL can pay millions of dollars per athlete, you're telling me the entire organization can't give the Olympia a little bit of money and have them pay these athletes properly.
What about women's bodybuilding?
So
how much should they make?
This was my question for you, and this, you know, what is, because I know the number one female like division. What is the number one female division?
It's got to be bikini.
Bikini.
But when I was listening to a video, I believe it was Tyler or someone in that realm was talking about how bikini girls were complaining they weren't making as much. And this was, I think, last year's Arnold. He was like, well, the prize, or was that the Olympia? The prize money is divvied up based on who draws in the biggest crowd, who brings in the most. Like, in my eyes, I'm for the girls. Like, I could care less about men's bodybuilding, genuinely.
I get you.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand how men's open is bringing in more money than bikini. Like, I would rather pay and see a sexy girl in a bikini with
100%.
muscles than some roided out dude with veins going down his forehead.
Listen, I don't know. But I am not homosexual. But I promise you right now, I'll see Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath step on stage one more time before I see any bikini girl.
So they're allotting the biggest prize fund to the most drugged out people, yet they're trying to implement a course to not get you to implement any drugs.
Right.
It doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make sense.
So if we're really gonna find out, like, you know, who brings in the most seats, you can't just say, "Oh, these guys bring in the most seats." There has to be a fucking poll.
Yeah.
So if you showed up to the Olympia in order to see it, you bought tickets and all that type of shit. There should be, when you go skip boop and you go to scan your ticket and be like, "Who are you here to see? Which division?"
Yeah. They
That makes
should.
sense. That makes sense.
Bing, cool, go ahead. Or just like a kiosk, when you scan, boom, go ahead and make sure, you know, go hit
Yeah,
your
'cause
button.
exactly what Raven said. You know, she's very passionate
be a
about the
whole-
women. I love every single division. Actually, I've grown I've grown to love every division, every one of them. Women's bodybuilding, women's physique, fucking men's physique, fitness, bro. I don't care what it is. I respect all these athletes. They work so fucking hard, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, the women probably either wellness, right? Wellness is huge now. So many girls are wellness.
It's massive.
Bikini, like. I love the bikini division. To me, that's the number one. That is their breadwinner. You take out bikini, you're in trouble. Like, that is the number one.
Well,
Because
soon
it's
it's gonna be
look,
fit
you know?
model. Because
think
bikini is not even that healthy nowadays.
It's insane.
Like
No,
there are
they're getting
some,
hard.
there's getting a lot harder, a little bit more chiseled, more muscle mass, and girls are using steroids to try to catch up to the pro level muscle rather than taking the time to naturally do this. Do I think fit model is going to be the biggest thing out there next year or in 5 years? Probably not, but it's going to be just as big as men's physique that's carrying the NPC. Like, do we all like it? Not necessarily, but is that going to be what every single girl is going to be entering soon? Yeah, it is. And it's going to be in the IFBB soon.
Because it's the first.
Yeah.
It's like, this is it,
That's
right?
the new
That's the
stepping stone.
gateway, you know?
I'm sorry, but if you're a natural competitor, you need 10 years. You need minimum 10 years of muscle to even be a national level bikini competitor without drugs. Like,
Yeah.
period. Like,
The national shows are crazy.
Insane genetics.
or just like in freak even, like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. Like, there's people that I've coached without the drugs. You're still never going to get the muscle it takes to be nationally ready. I'm sorry. It's not possible, right? No matter what the fuck your genetics is now. 4 years ago, different story. Different
Yeah.
story. Now, bikini's different. I actually, you weren't there, but we were at the seminar, and I actually asked Ashton. I was like, you know, what was your feedback? Like, did all the floodgates open when Fit Model came out? Like, okay, now I can get big, now I can get more shredded, now I can get this. In my opinion, that's what happened, right? Because if you look at the Arnold Classic, I've never seen Amy so shredded.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never seen her so big. Same with Ashlyn, right?
Yeah.
And actually, they both lost compared to Vanya, and we talked about this in the podcast. Vanya beat both of them because she brought the more streamlined physique.
Nice and soft.
And she actually said, you know, Sandy's told me specifically that's not what we're going for. We didn't, bikini is bikini. This is what we're leaving. But, you know, if all these girls, they all come a little bit bigger, what do you do? And that's what's been happening over the past few years.
I think it's going to keep happening now that Fit Model's here and they're going to be a little smaller. I mean, we've seen some of the people winning Fit Model. They actually have a decent sized amount of muscle.
Yes.
It's really the conditioning.
yes.
Like the last girl, she looked great. Like,
Did you see the last natural competitor that just won? So there was a natural overall fit model.
oh, I would
We're
hope
about
she's
to have-
natural.
They better be natural. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hope
maybe
so.
Clint.
But it was like, it was four, you know, it wasn't
Yeah.
just like NPC. This was
Yeah.
a NPC freaking natural.
Oh,
so
okay. I haven't
But
seen
fit
that
model.
one.
Yeah. She just
Okay,
came
that
out. She
makes
looked
sense.
natural.
Yeah.
But so then the question arises again: are they going to have a male fit model?
Okay, so you know what I'm saying. Listen, as long as it's not fucking men's wellness, I'm pretty on
no,
board.
it's never going to be
pretty
that.
on
But what I'm saying is that, okay, men's physique has definitely evolved to a certain
Yeah.
degree to where it's like you go backstage and let's just say you look at some of these pros and you're like, this motherfucker is like classic. Your body build. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
You're like, this guy's fucking huge. You know, your men's physique. What the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So it's evolved to that, just like, you know, bikini has evolved. So are they going to have a more dumbed down version of men's physique, make it male fit model, and now we're talking less conditioning?
Well,
Okay, that's fine, but how do you do that and not make it homo? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's
like, how do you do it and not make it gay? Because it's not possible.
There's a
You know
new
what I'm saying?
federation that came out this year.
No, I'm
I'm
dead serious. What do you think?
So
Like,
there's a new
no, bro. How do you do it and not make a bunch of gays go out there? You know what I'm saying?
There's a new federation. I forget the name of it, but they had a couple NPC shows. I think it was the Fit Games. Whoever ran the Fit Games dropped all their shows for the NPC and created their own federation. And it is very fit model. And they have a fit model men's division
How
where
do
it's
they
more
look, though?
beach model.
Is there makeup on the guys?
No,
Is
no,
it
no,
like-
it's
It
not.
has nothing to do with that.
Are you
It's
sure?
just,
Yes.
So okay, here we got bikini, and then we got fit model, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You got men's physique, and then you got fit model. It's just a less conditioned fucking.
Yeah.
It's not adding makeup. It's not fucking tossing a bikini bottom on. It's
Yeah,
just
Matt,
you
come
got
on.
shorts.
It just sounds
you
gay
got
to me a little
fucking
bit, you know what I'm
shorts,
saying?
And then you got a less
Nothing
conditioned
against gay
guy.
people. I'm just saying,
You're
like, it sounds a little
muscular.
gay.
You know,
You know?
it's like the size of the guys in the chick films out on the beach in Miami Beach. You know, that's what they look like in
Okay.
this new
All right,
federation.
so remember back in the day when Physique first came out, right?
Yeah,
I
those
think
guys
that's
look
what you're
like
talking
fags.
about. They look
Yeah.
like fags, you know, let's be honest. Like, they don't look, you know, a little fruity.
I love you. I love it.
Okay.
That's what I thought when I first saw him. Okay.
I think that's what the world thought, okay? But it's like, but you see what I'm saying? Like, their presence, right? It was very like,
yeah.
like, just, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing back then.
Well, that's just because
So-
posing sucks.
But okay, so we were talking. What do you think about like a men's like fitness? Like that kind of sound. I would rather that almost than like men's.
You
fit
mean
model,
like
you know what
some
I'm
Where they jump
prancing
around?
fucking-
No, I'm thinking about like cool, like almost like a.
What?
No.
How do you not make that game, man?
Well, hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm
Okay.
trying
So
to.
you know, like parkour and stuff like that. You know, guys
Okay.
who do flips and all that cool shit.
So we're gonna have bars set up. And
Oh no,
shit?
but it's
These
like
guys
imagine
do-
like, you know, you got men's physique,
Okay.
right? But then just like homegirl, just like it's fitness, bro. Like just like wear a fucking outfit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No gay outfits. Okay. If you want to wear a gay outfit, bitch, wear a gay outfit. It would make sense, right? Wear like a sword, you're doing flips and shit. I don't know, bro. What do you do then?
I would honestly rather see the NPC do a transformation division
Agreed.
for the
Oh,
amateur
we
level.
Definitely
Yeah,
need
we need
that.
that.
Like-
100%.
That would be
Please,
cool.
transformation
Just for
division.
the just for the people that
Would be
have made
awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't.
transformation.
It wouldn't go into the pro league. It would just be at an amateur level. And let's be honest, they make the most money off of amateurs anyway.
Yep.
So just throw one more out there because we get to see that in the OCB.
Yeah.
The way the OCB does it, but I think the NPC could do it even better for the amateur shows because I think that is such a cool moment. Like I get chills every time I see those people go on stage. That's what I think the NPC really needs.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. I've
it's-
said that before, and I 100% agree with you. They needs to be a transformation.
But here's the caveat to that. Like, there's no NPC division that you could do and not turn pro at, right? That's the thing. How do you just do it just for the amateurs? Like, I get it, but it's
like
it's a weird thing.
It's like an
you know?
added class they can do. You can't turn pro in a novice class. You can't
See, I
turn
like
pro
that,
in a
yeah.
true novice class. So it would
can
be
have a
an
transformation class.
Yeah, it's just another
like
way
that.
for them
I
to
like
make
that.
an extra $150
And
for show.
yeah.
Like
Plus, it motivates the people to be like, you know what, dude? How many people have we seen do that? Look up on stage and they just look
Crazy.
just not like. I don't want to say not the best, but like they look kind of fat, right?
Yeah, but
you don't know where the fuck they came
they
from.
started their
something
starting
happened.
point.
You're like, that person probably went through, and then they say in OCB, oh, that person dropped 400 pounds to make
We
this. And you're
saw
like,
one for 300 pounds over the weekend that
yeah, she was
changed.
sloppy, but it was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you looked
Yeah.
amazing, right? Like, for that, knowing where she
Yes.
was, it was a beautiful
Yeah.
So,
thing.
I kind of like
Beautiful
that,
thing.
like an added class, sort of like novice, true novice. So you can have like a transformation men's physique, or a transformation bikini,
Yeah.
or a transformation wellness,
Or just like female transformation, male transformation.
Exactly.
That's it. Exactly. If you did fitness, figure, for sure. Whatever. You did
Whatever
bikini,
you want to
perfect.
line up in. You want to
Yep.
be in freaking board shorts. You want to be in
Yeah.
classic physique trunks. You want to be in a bikini.
come
you want
out
to be
in
in
whatever
like,
you wanna
whatever-
come out in.
exactly. And then we have a story behind it, dude.
Yeah.
That would bring so many.
Or
freaking
even like
people.
having the promoters do like some cash prize for that.
Yeah,
you know
dude,
what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like,
that would be really
that'd
cool,
fucking
man. I think that would be cool.
But I gotta say, man, the IFBB has gone in the right direction.
I think so.
There's not a single thing that they've done, honestly, that I'm like that I just can't stand as far as divisions goes. Right? Wellness came out, that was easy. We knew that was gonna
Yeah, I
happen,
like
right?
that.
Fit Model came out. I think in the beginning, everyone was like, I don't know about this stuff, but I see why they're doing this stuff, right? And I do think they're going to eventually come out with some kind of men's fit model. I got to be honest, guys.
Male
side,
they're
going to do it, right?
It
because
has to be.
the
Maybe
men's
beach
has
bod.
to be, right? Like, what else is there? Because nobody's going to look like you without 15 years of muscle, right?
Exactly.
No one's going to look like you. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just, there's no fucking way. Or without abusing drugs. So they have to do something for the men to just their starting point.
Yeah.
We got fit model for bikini. We need men's gay model for men's physique. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being honest, guys. There might be,
Maybe a better name to the division.
what's the better name then?
I don't know.
man. Like
Gay
I said,
model, bro.
men's fit model, dude. You just gotta embrace it, dog.
I'm just fucking with you. Men's fit model, fine. I'm gonna embrace it. When the time comes, I'm fully fine with it. As long as it makes some good transformations, we'll be good. But another quick thing, I don't know if you see much about Nick Walker and the Bob Chicarilla thing. I think we talked a little bit
I
about
heard you
it.
talk about it.
I mean,
Wow.
Is
What do you have to say about that one? So, Dustin, give him a little rundown on what happened.
so essentially, Bob Chick was.
Talking shit, bro.
But was he really?
He
though?
was talking shit. He said Nick
Okay,
Walker.
okay. He said
listen,
Nick Walker had an age
will
frame.
never be top 3.
Did he say that, or he said he'd never win an
No.
Olympia?
Maybe he said both.
I think he said he'd never win an Olympia.
Maybe. That's fine.
That's what I think he said.
Okay, fine. He said that. Then what?
I think he said he'd never make an Olympian, and it was because basically his shape, right? He doesn't have a Y frame. He doesn't have an X frame. He called him an H frame.
Nick Walker was not okay with that, Dustin.
No, he was not.
What did he say?
No, he was not. He said, "Who the fuck is Bob?" Right? And
Who
then
the fuck is
Bob
Bob?
responded, "I'm going to be
the
the
fuck is
announcer
Bob?
who is going to announce you in 8th place."
Oh.
yeah, that's wild.
Right, and then Nick Walker put a shirt on and it said like 8th place, something like I don't remember.
Now, did you see that because of all this, he actually got banned from like the Arnold? Like, he's not allowed to speak. He's not the speaker at the Arnold no more.
Who,
Did
Bob?
you see that, Bob? Yep.
Really?
Arnold just put out a thing saying that they just put out a thing like 4 days ago.
So Arnold's a fucking hypocrite. Is that what you're saying?
Something happened, yes, and maybe it wasn't. Remember, Arnold, just because he's the face doesn't mean he runs it. So
Yeah.
something happened where Bob. I think it was this situation. Ran his mouth a little too fucking hard. Him going back and forth with Nick. Arnold Classic, they didn't like it. Whoever the fuck runs the show, they banned him from being the speaker.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, that'd be like you getting ready for a show. You get on the podcast and you trash talk a judge. You know what I mean? That's not going to help you. And I
it's
mean,
not
yeah,
gonna help
he's
you at
an
all.
announcer, but you shouldn't be running your mouth. Like when you're in that position of authority, like even though he doesn't necessarily have a say in the placings, you just shouldn't be running your mouth about somebody who's that well known, well
I
respected.
mean, I can understand that, but then you're also taking somebody's fucking freedom of speech away, and I think that's bullshit.
Well,
So-
he is the athlete's rep, so that's
Is
where,
he really? But he's not, though.
So,
That's just a fucking
of course.
designation that was given to him that's bullshit that he doesn't actually hold a title of.
So
and
he
he doesn't claim
came
it.
out, said that I'm not the athlete's rep, but that's what everyone says, right? So, but when you're given a position of power like he has been, right? He's been a big voice in the community for a long time. The voice of bodybuilding, quite literally, right? He's the one who's always announcing everything. They better not take him off Olympia because I still like his
I don't
announcing.
think that they should.
They better never do that. But, you have to have a certain standard, right?
True.
You can't just come out and say somebody will never. Yes, you can, though, man. I don't know.
If he,
I don't know.
But
I'm
see, here's the
conflicted
thing.
here, guys.
Sean Ray asked him the question. If you get asked the question, are you going to answer truthfully, or are
I
you
am.
going to fucking be politically correct?
Yeah, I think
Because you're
we
never
both know the
politically correct, first of
Never.
all. So again, if you're going to be asked the fucking
is, I'm asked
question,
about it.
if you're going to be asked the question, you're going to answer the way that you should be answered. And he asked him, "You think Nick's ever going to win?" He said, "No." And this is why. And he gave reasoning. And
I
I don't
agree.
think that's negative. And
think
then
it is,
Nick, then he said, "Fuck you. I don't like the way that you said that." It's okay to get offended by that, but everybody has a difference of opinion. Now, do I believe that Bob should have said, "I'm the motherfucker that's," well, he didn't say
That's
that,
where
but
he messed up.
he said, "I'm the guy that's going to be announcing you 8th place." Should he have said that? No.
No.
I don't believe he should have said that.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like, I am the man and I'm going to be the announcer.
Yeah.
That's when I believe it crossed the line. But to be safe,
Because he has that power.
exactly.
He's
So-
got the fucking mic,
So he at that point he should have taken the higher road and whatever and kind of squashed it, but he kept playing into it. So I don't know. Should he been taken off of the Arnold? I don't fucking know.
I love Bob, man. I love all these guys.
I love
man.
them all,
There's
dude.
Nothing I'm a fan of everybody.
Do I
in
want to
this
see
sport,
Nick
man.
win? Yes, I do want to see
Yes.
Nick win.
Yeah.
Please. That would be so sick. I want to see him compete. We haven't seen you compete in fucking what? A year?
2 years.
2 years,
we
right? You,
didn't- yeah.
you did
How
this.
about-
Oh,
he did
you did the
Pittsburgh
New
last year,
No,
technically.
in New York.
New York last year, I think he did Pittsburgh.
He did. No, he did New York. He won the New York.
He versed Martin in Pittsburgh or New York.
Something-
Martin in
yeah,
New York?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mars gonna whip his ass now, though. I think so. I don't know, man.
Again,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah,
And
I think
if
you
Nick
would
is
like it.
watching
I think
this,
if you
brother,
start watching the
I
men,
love you so much.
You see how much goes into it. It's
okay.
fun.
I mean, I follow them on Instagram. I kind of know what's up and up, but it's just like
And
it gets a little too gay for me. They slap each other asses on stage. Like, what
You're
is
not wrong. You're
like?
not wrong.
Come on,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
guess who Nick Walker's fucking training partner is?
I did not see it.
Danilo.
Okay, shit. I actually saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a picture of him,
Yeah.
but I didn't know for sure.
Danilo
so
is
Nick back here, or did Danilo?
Nick's over there. In
So
the
Nick's here now.
He's in the Raw. Well, yeah,
Right.
wherever.
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
over there. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That's
he was on the
pretty fucking
podcast. Danilo is a nice guy. He's supposed to
Danilo's
come on
fucking
last time,
dope.
but-
Again, we love you, Nick, and we want to see you fucking get on that stage and
Shock the world.
shock the fucking world, please.
He should
up.
come
Do
on the
something.
podcast and
That'd be
say
fun.
who the fuck is Bob
That'd
on the
be-
podcast.
No, he should. You go off. Nick, you're an outlet, buddy. You come on here, you go off.
Yeah, I will let you say whatever it is the fuck that you want to say, man. That I think that would be fucking
Don't
sick.
be politically correct. You go crazy.
But again, we want to see you compete, and we haven't seen you compete in a while. In 2 Olympias, and we just want you to come out there and again shock the world, please.
I'm a big fan of him, actually.
am too.
I'm a big fan of people who aren't given the best submission and just, some of the best submission Olympians in the world we've seen. Dorian Yates, I'm sorry, but he did not have the best structure. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. You put him next to Lee Haney. I'm sorry, Lee Haney has a better structure, but Dorian Yates just had something different, right? He had just that grind, that grit, and I don't know if you know who Dorian Yates is, do you? No, damn, girl. Okay, we can catch you up.
I need to be
Dorian
educated.
Yates is-
This
it's
is
the
why I am
shadow.
continuing my
She only knows Ashley
education.
Kaltwasser. That's
No,
it.
no, no.
Ashley K.
I don't. She's not even a huge fan of her, to be honest.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway,
Well, anyway, so Dorian Yates, long story short, shocked the world. He shocked the world. He was the first mass monster, right? Came out of nowhere. Not the best. He's tearing body parts left and right, slaughtered fucking everyone. He would just go to his country in Germany, right? Nobody would see him for a year. He'd show up and slaughter
UK.
everybody. UK? Go to the UK, slaughter everyone, come back. It was just a cool story. But long story short, I'm a fan of people like that, man. Like Nick Walker does not have the best structure, even though he still has a very good structure. Like from the back, he's insane. From the sides, he's insane. It's just his waist a little big, whatever. But anyway, Nick's gonna come back. She's gonna bring it home. So
He had an update photo, and his update photo looked pretty damn good.
see, I don't know. I disagree, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I disagree with it. I think Martin's will whip his ass.
He's doing what? Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh, yes.
Okay, and they're 8 weeks out.
8 weeks out, yeah. But again, I was a big Nick person for a long time. I still am. I'm rooting for him. But when you see Martin, man, and see how close it was last year, and see how much progress Martin has made, you can't count him out. But you also can't count out Nick. Nope. So I'm excited for the battle. Maybe you should watch that. You know what I'm saying? We'll catch you up on the men's side of things.
well, I'm definitely gonna watch it because
be a
our
good
girl's gonna be on it.
That's true. Yeah. Who is in town going to be competing there, Raven?
Go ahead.
Miss Alice.
Yep.
I'm excited. It's her first time doing that show.
Yep. She will be easily first call out to any show she steps on
Just
for the
hope
rest of her life.
that's such a big show, and being top 5 in Olympia, she's definitely gonna.
15.
They're gonna 15. Sorry, top 15. They're definitely gonna want her to compete again. So she's gonna get a first place at some show, and it would be super sick if it was this show. It's
could do it.
huge.
She could do it. I mean, with the little off season she had, what was that, 6 months, something like that, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
She's gonna be fine. I mean, she's first call to any fucking stage she walks on now, and now it's just building your name, building your get that fucking roster up.
She's
Slaughter
like
fucking
really
everyone.
well known now, so I think she's gonna have a great time at that show.
She beat Ashley K.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Ashley K, 2 girls beat her last year, which I was not surprised. I know I've been really hard on Ashley, man. Like, again, I think there's always shows that I think that some girls should beat her, but I'm very happy that, you got it honestly pushed Ashley to be better at the Olympia, right? Like sometimes you have to let somebody lose to be like, yo, look, this is not the look we want. Like, we're going to have you lose here, but you better come back better. And that's exactly what happened. She came back better, came back tighter, and the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Alice, man. She's going to kill it. She's going to kill it. She'll easily be top fucking. I don't even know who's doing the show. Who's doing the show?
I haven't seen any other
anybody.
girls post about it. That's why she could easily. I mean, usually there's bikini girls posting all about it all the time. And I haven't seen a single post about who's doing the show.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't matter. If she did the right off season, man, it's hard to beat her. It's hard to beat her. Her structure is fucking ridiculous. So good luck to her. She's gonna kill it, and we will see her at the Olympia this year. Beat that top
definitely.
15, easy work. But man, no, I feel like it was pretty good. I feel like today was a good talk.
We
man.
got a lot off our
Got
chest.
a lot off our
Yeah.
chest,
I
guys.
feel Matt's probably 10 pounds lighter right now.
Oh yeah, guys, listen up. Everything we say on this podcast, guys. We're just speaking honest opinions. We'll always speak honest opinions. People are gonna like it. They're gonna not like it. Truly, don't fucking care. You have to. I don't care, man. There's freedom of speech. And if you argue with us, you could come on the podcast anytime you want.
I would
let me know.
love to have you on the podcast, and we can talk about it.
Exactly. It's all love.
I'd never run from confrontation. Not that this would be a confrontation, but I love differences of opinions, and I'm willing to share mine. And like he said, if in fact you are offended by some of the things that we say, and you have a difference of opinion, honestly, I don't give a fuck. It's just never been something that I cared about.
Yeah.
But see, that's me. Like I don't allow other people's opinions to affect who I am.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you shouldn't either. So
I was thinking about fucking who the fuck is the UFC fighter? Conor McGregor. I was thinking about Conor McGregor. He's like, I just want to take this chance to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. That was like one of the best moments ever, right? Because he's really trying to think about it, but it just came out naturally to him, right? Like, guys, we love you. There's no harm. We're just speaking honest opinions, and that's just what it is, right? Love it, hate it, doesn't matter. We're gonna keep doing us. Anyway, what do they got to do, man? You got to tell them what's up again.
Come on, hit that subscribe button. Please hit that thumbs up, whatever the case is. Hit a comment. We love both negative and positive comments, and we will get back to you, believe me. As well as bell notifications, so you know when we're posting more of these videos.
Also, guys, if you are local, man, and you're looking for a posing coach, please, God, we have two of the best posing coaches in the world, honestly, guys, at the amateur level for sure. If not, we're going to make it all the fucking way up to working with pros someday. But if you're an amateur man, you live locally to Sarasota, Tampa, Orlando, whatever, take the drive, come work with one of these guys. They're going to help you out. They would love to help you out because posing is lacking in this.
Don't
neglect
it.
So let's go.
All right. See ya.